Welcome everyone to this exciting interview segment. Today we have the pleasure of sitting down with Tamara Almeida, star of the movie Holiday in Happy Hollow. Join us as we delve into Tamara's insights into her character and the challenges of filming this movie. Thank you for being here with us, Tamara.
Yeah, of course. Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. So, change of movie.
Yeah.
This week you have another movie premiere,
Yeah.
Christmas Song Call.
I have no idea what this movie is going to be like at all. Tomorrow night, I get to see it, and I'm so excited and curious because I have no clue. Yeah.
Great. And can you tell us a little bit about your character in Christmas Uncle?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Julia, and I'm one of the first responders, one of the newer first responders. So Wes, who's our leading man, who's on his quest, his side. He's the lead. He's out there trying to find love, and I'm just kind of coming in as a secondary, like looking to be a bit like his new partner in crime. I'm just a new first responder coming in on the scene. My family has been first responders for years. So I'm like the third generation of a first responder, and really nervous. Feels like there's a lot of like the weight of the world is on my shoulders a bit, just really trying to see how I can come in and do a great part, do my part, do a great job. And what I found with Julia, for me, I don't know if it'll read, but I tried to give her a little bit of anxiety because I thought that sometimes it's funny. It's like I'll see these roles and I think of myself, even like as a Latina, it's like I have a lot of anxiety of like wanting to make sure I do something right and fit in like the world that I'm in. And just wanting to make sure that people like me and if I'm new at something, like it's so vulnerable and I care a lot. So I wanted to give that to Julia, like how much she cares about things, how she's trying to hide kind of like in plain sight, but at the same time trying to be seen as somebody who's really invested in doing a great job. So that's what I was trying to play with that within that role. Yeah.
Great. And in this case, what initially attracted you to your role?
Yeah, so same type of thing. I got to audition for this part and it was I'd not played any kind of like paramedics or cops or first responders in like since the beginning. It was more into these um like romantic leads or even somebody who's going through like a thriller like and that is so much fun and I love that, but it's also nice to diversify and when looking at other characters and seeing how else like you can what else, what new colors there are in the palette, like what else can I play with, who else can I embody, and I don't know, there's something about this particular part. I remember when I did audition, it was like try to do very little, like do the best that you can to not like emote, not do anything, and just see how you can get the lines out, be really stable, be really practical. And yeah, I was so attracted to it from the moment that I read it. I loved it. And so when I booked it, I was really, really happy. And then they kind of allowed for certain changes, and then we kind of developed together. And then the team itself was unreal. Like Sarah Canning and Sir Darius were just, they're such great people. It made for like a really incredible shoot. It's such a rare, like I say that maybe about everything, but it was like this one was so special. I remember coming home just being like, I can't believe I got to do that. It was such a great shoot. Yeah.
Amazing. So, um, all the artists that working on a Hallmark production say that the environment is beautiful and they are treated like a princess. I don't know how to say.
Yeah.
What can you share about it?
Yeah. I mean, I think it was so exceptional. It's true. Hallmark treats you amazing. Like they really go above and beyond. It's like it is true. Like we got the rare treat of having a read through for this movie. So meeting everybody and just having like just like again coming in, just having snacks, enjoying each other's company. And it's like Hallmark is incredible, but the actual production team that we were working with, like it was just so know. It was actually, I think like the whole team as a collective works so well. Because yeah, Princess is true. Like that's how I felt the moment I got there. It's like one of the producers was waiting for me at the hotel, brought me up. Like the way that everything was just set up was incredible. First day on set was amazing. The team was amazing. I can't say anything bad about it. It was just, I'm like trying to think if there's anything in particular else like to mention, but it was just from beginning to end, it was such a flawless experience. Like I'd hope to work with them over and over again. It was so special. Yeah.
Great. So, the last question about this movie,
Mhm.
what can you tease about your character journey in this case?
Yeah, I think like I always think with every character, like how can I make sure that it arcs? So from the beginning to the end, we're slightly different. I do think there's a difference. I think that especially with how it starts versus where it ends, I feel really proud of like Julia's journey. Julia. I always think of like she just went through so much feeling inadequate, to finally feeling empowered and how she gets there. It takes time and it's individual and also just being able to own herself and stand behind what her values are. Yeah, I just feel like there's a lot of that kind of trickled in. And so I feel excited. Hopefully people like her. I hope I like it when I see it tomorrow. We'll see. But yeah, I hope that people kind of like there's parts of it that resonate because I think with the journey, especially like with when I was shooting this, with where I was, I really just wanted to make sure that I felt really empowered at the end as well. And I felt like I did. Yeah. Especially in the last scene. Mhm.
Great, amazing. So, change of movies again.
Okay.
Recently, premiered on Hallmark, Christmas Charade.
It's true. Yes.
And in this case, what can you tell us about this project?
Yeah, this project was very fun. This one, I have a smaller part in this, but this project was so fun because this one is what I found about it. So Corey Sevier and then his wife, they worked on this together. And then Rachel Skarzen, who's incredible, came in and they were electric, right? What I loved about this project was it reminded me of old movies, like those older movies from the 90s that are just so fun. So again, play, a lot of just the way that they were so collaborative with each other and the way that they brought everyone else in, it felt like a heist film, which is such a rare thing to have. You're looking at like Ocean's 11 meets True Lies, it was such a fun movie. And again, I got to play a role similar to like in Christmas on Call, where more of like a first responder getting to play an FBI agent. So it was just the way that I got to come into the story from being a little bit of a decoy to actually helping to kind of solve the case in the end. I don't want to give anything away if someone hasn't seen it, but maybe everyone has seen it already. It was so much fun to shoot as it was to watch because it's one of those like, yeah, it was like an adventure film.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's great. So, change of subject again.
Okay.
This is something I ask to all the artists I have the chance to talk with. What have been some of the most memorable projects you have worked on throughout your career and why for you?
Hey, yeah. Huh. It's funny. It's like you say that and then two different things that come to mind. So I worked on a kid show called Jane, which is probably the most it's like the most profound thing that I felt like I got to be a part of in many ways because it's all focused on the mission of Jane Goodall and really wanting to make the planet a better place. Like there's nothing about that like nothing can really top that, in my books because it's more about how I feel from like my integrity with how I want the world to be. That show and getting to play a mom to Ava Louise Murchison, who to me is one of the most special kids that, like, and Mason, the two of them, they were so special. But Ava became like my daughter, slash like my niece. So we worked together for a few years there, and it was just so, so, so special. So Jane would have to be number one. But then I think about how there was a show that I worked on called Heroes Reborn a million years ago. And I had one word. It was just like a one word um, part, and I was playing a paramedic. And it's so memorable for me because it was one of the first sets that I saw that had like a big crane. And it was just like the way that they had set everything up, it showed me the magic of what like movie making, like film and TV, like what it could be. And I got to be part of it. And I remember I had auditioned for maybe 3 years and I hadn't booked anything. Every single audition I went in for, I wasn't booking. And then I booked this one line, this like one word, not even a line, one word. And I don't even remember what it was. Was it Evos? It was something like that. And I remember like going in for the audition when we still used to go into the room, and I put like the chair down, pretending like it was the box, and I was doing so much. But I remember leaving that space, like when I auditioned, thinking, wow, that was the first time I played in a really long time. Then I booked it. I remember feeling so excited and shocked because I was like, oh my gosh, I just booked something. This is such a big deal after 3 years of not booking anything. Then I got to set, and then I was like, wow, I can't believe I get to do this. So Heroes Reborn, even though it was the tiniest part I've maybe ever had, is probably one of the most significant ones. Yeah.
Nice story. So, a quick question. At
Mhm.
Survive the Shows, we are big fans of Christmas rom-coms. What is your all-time favorite? The old ones.
Mm. My favorite, okay. There's two movies that I love so much every year. Oh, okay. Oh, I mean, Elf, I guess, is an obvious one. I love it. I love Buddy the Elf so much because there's like innocence to him, this childlike wonder. He's so pure and a bit aloof. So I love Elf, but I also really love Love Actually. It's
Yeah,
such a good movie. And oh, it's so good. And then like bonus points, favorite Christmas song, Mariah Carey. It's like all I want for Christmas. It's like those things, those movies, and then Mariah Carey Christmas. That's how I know I'm in the mood, like that's how I know it's happening. Yeah.
yeah, great. So, the last question. Can you tease something about your next projects?
Okay, yeah. I just finished shooting another one of these movies. It's a thriller. Uh, I don't know if they're going to change the name because sometimes they change the names.
Mhm.
Uh, so you don't know, but presently it's called She Was Murdered in Our House. And it's exactly what you think it's about. So um it was such a crazy shoot. Um we shot it very quickly. Sam McAdam, who was our director, was so wonderful. David Chinchilla, who was the actor who played opposite me, was also just wonderful. Everybody was so great in that movie. Um, what can I tease? There's suspense, some thrills, a little bit of romance, a little bit of devastation. Not really any comedy, I don't think. Not from me. I'm just worried the whole time. And but there is a really happy ending.
Great,
Maybe
great.
I shouldn't have said that. I think there's a happy ending. Oh no, oops. I thought it was a happy ending. So,
It's okay.
okay.
So, this is it. Make
Thank
sure, all of you, to coach Holiday in Happy Hollow on Lifetime platform. And thank you, Tamara, to join us today.
thank you so much for having me. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. Bye!